of encouragement that she exudes to her teammates, whether it's while she's in the game or if she's on the bench at the time. Every time you hear her comment or say something, it's always something positive that's encouraging her team. She and I had a conversation partway through the season in which she came to me and said, look, I'm just not really happy with my role on the team right now, and I think that I could be doing more. And that's not easy, because you got to kind of put yourself in that vulnerable situation where you're talking to your coach. Obviously, basketball is something that's really important to her, and she wanted to know what she could do to improve. So we had a conversation about that, and it was helpful for me because sometimes as a coach, you have a certain vision, and sometimes you get kind of like tunnel vision as to what you're trying to accomplish. So that was a pivotal moment, I think, for me and the team. And so after that, she was able to go out there, play really tough, was a presence in the paint for us, had a good understanding of what she could do to help our team, and twice this year was our leading scorer. Definitely see a big role for her in the future, and that's Haley Poolin. Our first of 3 11th grade athletes. This athlete did both ski and basketball this year. This year just basketball, and she was able to commit more time. And she would probably be the first to tell you that as far as skill set, she has to work extra hard. It doesn't come naturally to her. But yet, day in and day out, she's working incredibly hard. And that is extremely important because everyone on the team has a role to play and everybody is integral. For us, sometimes we had 10 players that were able to practice and sometimes we didn't. But this person was very dedicated, and it really speaks to the kind of person she is because she knew she wasn't always going to have an opportunity to play in every game. And the minutes that she might get would be limited. But when you're a team player and you're playing team sports, you sacrifice your individual needs for that of what's best for the team. She's a girl who's sacrificing, brave, courageous, and has a willing spirit. And that's Caitlin Brown. So 2 other juniors, and 1 senior. I'm going to talk about them collectively for just a minute because those were our 3 captains this year. And we couldn't have had better leadership on the team. And what typically we would do is at the beginning of the season have the team talk about what kind of roles do they look for in a leader, what are some of those characteristics, and then make their suggestions on who should be captain. So here are some of the things that your teammates said about you guys. Vocal, encouraging, positive, hardworking, motivational, dependable, supportive, selfless, and helpful. And I think that they exude those qualities, and it's one of the reasons why we were so successful this season. So the first individual for me took on a leadership role this year because last year she played guard, but this year mostly point guard. So she had the ball in her hands the majority of the time. I really was impressed by watching how, because of her basketball knowledge, which I think she probably has maybe the highest, if not the highest, basketball IQ on the floor, she would look for moments where she could work with and talk to her teammates. Whether it was a mistake that happened or something that could have been a little bit different. I think they like and respect her. So it's helpful to have someone on the floor that can kind of navigate that. And we have, you know, we're like a little family. We can be dysfunctional at times. Sometimes information isn't always received in a positive way. And we have to work on that. And sometimes it's the right moment to share and kind of say, hey, let's do this different next time. So I think Abby handled that really well. Because we could be chit-chatty at times, right, at practice, and there was we had fun too. But there's a lot of different personalities, and we all had to kind of meld together, work towards one common goal. That was challenging, but I thought she handled that really well. In addition to that, she had to run the fast break. Defensively, her long arms, oh my goodness, just everywhere. Whenever, I was in there kind of jumping in because we didn't have enough. Any practice, you go in, you'd hear, Abby! And she'd always see the wall, her arms are always there. You think you're going to make a great pass, but at the last minute, there she is. So she was just really steady and made a lot of really good things happen. She had the second highest total points for the season. She was the highest scorer in 7 of our games. She was selected by the area coaches for All-Rustic. And this year, she was also my choice for most all-around athlete, and that's Abby Debbie.